Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session of the CommCare training. I'm so sorry for fixing the time this early. This is because I will be traveling later, so I might be on transit by 11 a.m. when we usually have our classes. So just bear with me. And also bear with my voice. I've been in the field for the past 2 weeks, and it's a very, very remote village, as in local governments here in Niger State, and they're very, very, very remote, as in the dust every and what have you. So just manage the voice. So like we agreed, we are going to look at some advanced features of CommCare. So today we are going to look at lookup table. Lookup table is one of the most advanced feature of CommCare, and you cannot have lookup table until you are using the paid version of CommCare. It's not available in the standard version. So we are going to look at how we can have that lookup table. And what is lookup table? Lookup table, in other words, if you're familiar with ODK and Kobo, lookup table is just cascading, the usual cascading we do on Kobo and ODK. So in CommCare, we call it lookup table. You know, the idea is for you to be able to filter a location based on another location. What I mean by that is that when you have, for instance, you have a state or province, like others call it in their own countries, here we call it state, and you have LG is local government under that state, and you want it to be in such a way that if you click on a particular state, it is only the local government that are under that state that will come up. Right, so you want to filter a state, you want to filter the local government based on the selection of the state, or rather what we have here as an example that we are going to use is local government and wards. Right, we have the LGs and we have wards that are attached to the LGs. So we want it to be in such a way that when we click a particular local government, the only thing we are going to see is the state, is the words that are peculiar to that LG. So let me just show you an example. We are going to use this sheet, Excel sheet, let me share it. We are going to be working with this Excel sheet, this one. So I hope all of you can see my screen. So if you look at this, we have the LGA. For instance, the first LGA here is Aguara, and we have words on that LGA, about 10 words. So you see, we have Barugu, and we have also 10 words under it to the last word, LGA. So what we want to do in essence is that in our app, the app we are going to build, if we select Aguara, so we want to just only see these 10 words under Aguara, right? Also be able to select either of the words. So we don't want to see words under Borgu showing in Aguara. You get it? So we don't want to see words in Kontagora showing in Aguara. So we only want to see those words under a particular LG we have selected. So in essence, that is what we are trying to do. So our work today is going to be basically, 90% Excel. Get it? It's going to be 90% Excel. So we're going to be using Excel to do it. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. So if you are ready, okay, let me keep sharing. So I will share this document with all of you for practice, so you can use it for practice. So in lookup table, we have some definitions, variable definitions, and the way you are going to arrange them. So quickly, sorry, like I told you, I'll be traveling, so I have just some few minutes. So let's see how we can look at all this in maybe 30 minutes or so. So if you have the video, will be available on my YouTube channels. If you have any question, you can equally drop it on the WhatsApp group later, and I will treat it when I come back. So this is what you are expected to do when you want to uh, design a lookup table. Let's have another sheet, an empty sheet. Okay. So I hope you can still see my screen. This is the empty sheet. So what we are expected to do, I'll be working with a Power Query. I prefer using Power Query, so I don't know if you are familiar with Power Query, but I'll be using Power Query. So this is what I want to do. I want to load this table to Power Query, right? So just follow the steps and you get the idea. But you can equally do it on Excel if you don't want to use Power Query. You can equally do it on Excel. Get it? So I want to delete this serial number. I don't need it. I'll delete these totals. I don't need it. I want to remove the empty cells. Right? So I want to fill this LGS. So I want to fill this LGS. Fill down. Have you seen it? SNFE. SNFE. Hello, SNFE.
Hi Jafar, how are you?
I'm fine.
How are things going on? Yes.
Fine. You're welcome on board, boy. You are late.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother.
uh,
How
you are
are
late.
things going on?
So fine.
Uh-huh.
I have started the class.
Oh, all right. Oh, did you start it? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, great. Sorry
Though
for being late. Uh-huh.
no problem. Though I'm all alone here, so I had wanted to do the video and send.
Yeah,
And
thank you so much. That will
so,
be much
yes,
appreciated.
yes, and probably you guys might go through it. And if you have any challenges, you can call my attention.
Of of course. Of course,
Okay.
sure. Thank you so much.
Okay. In summary, what I'm trying to do is we are working on lookup table, right? We said we are going to discuss lookup table today.
Yes.
Yes, so that is exactly what I'm trying to do. So quickly, let me just reverse back a bit. Since you are here, you have been the one requesting for the lookup table session, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so what I'm trying to do here is that we want to create a lookup table. You know, the idea of lookup table, if you know Kobo and ODK, is just cascading. What we know as cascading on Kobo and ODK, right? If you know cascading, so that is the same idea we are trying to do here. But this for CommCare, it's a bit different from what you usually see on Kobo and ODK. So now what we have here is a table containing the LGA. What we mean by LGA here in Nigeria is local government. You get it? And the wards and the total number of wards that attached or under a particular LGA, right? So the idea is we want to develop an app that when we select a particular LGA, for instance, when we select this Aguara, we should be able to see just the words under Aguara, right? So as you can see, we have about 10 words under Aguara. So we want a situation whereby when we select Aguara, we should be able to see just these 10 words under Aguara. We should not select Aguara and see LGs under Borgu appear in Aguara, right? So that is what we are actually trying to do. That is basically the idea on the idea behind the lookup table. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I want it to be a participatory class, so you can just quickly answer if you are getting my question. Hello, guys. Can you hear me? Let me be sure.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get my explanation? Did you get my explanation?
Yeah, yeah. You are mentioning cascade. Lookup tables are similar to cascading in Kobo and other, but here a little bit different on the CommCare parts, right?
Exactly. So, and we have a table here where we have the local governments and the wards under a particular local government, right? So we want, like I said, we want a situation whereby if we select this local government, Aguara, you should be able to see just, but can you see my screen? Can you see my screen, what I'm sharing?
Yeah, I can see the Excel spreadsheet. Yeah.
Okay. Which one are you seeing? Is this the empty spreadsheet or the one containing some
No,
items on it?
yeah, the one. Yeah, the one with LJ
Okay, good.
total word and that.
Okay. So here in Nigeria, we have what we call the LG and the wards. You get it. LG is the local government, like I don't know how you call it in your country. Some call it province or so. So, and we have wards under LGs. So we want this to be, our application should be in such a way that if we select a particular LG like this Aguara, we should be able to see just these 10 words under Aguara, right? If we select this LGA number 2 called Borgu, we should be able to see just LGAs under Borgu. We should not select Aguara and see LGAs under Borgu pop up under Aguara. So that is what we are trying to see. So we are trying to create a filter that will filter just a particular um, uh, words to its LG. So now we shall be working with Excel. You get it. our work today is going to be almost 80% Excel, right? But while using Excel, I prefer to use Power Query. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Power Query. I prefer doing my cleaning, my designs, my everything with Power Query before I load it back to Excel. You get it? So now this is what I will do. I want to load this table now to Power Query. I'll go to data, then I will load the table to Power Query. So this is Power Query interface. The data is loaded. Can you are you seeing my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'll delete this. I don't need it. I'll also delete this. I don't need it. I want to remove the null cells, the empty cells. Okay, fine. So I want to fill this. I want to fill the LGs down. So you can see the LGs are filled, right? So I want to trim this. It's trimmed. So I want a lowercase of both the LGA and the word. Are you getting my point? So let me just say I want the lowercase of this LGA and the lowercase of the word. Or rather, I'll create another variable with the lowercase instead. Okay, I'm just, so I want a lowercase of this too. So when you are creating a lookup table, you get it. There are situations where spacing is not allowed because you create a variable we call you have to define the fields. How do I even say it? You define the fields. While defining the fields, you get it. There are situations where spacings are not allowed. Are you getting my point? Spacings, it doesn't allow spacing. So what we'll do is we are going to replace the spaces here, right? We are going to replace the spaces here with underscore. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
So we are going to replace the spacing with underscore. So this is what I want to do. Let me duplicate this column. I want to keep that too. So now I'll tell the Power Query to anywhere it see the space, so replace it with underscore. So it's done. So can you see my spacings now? For instance, this Magajia, Magamadaji. So you can say I've replaced the space there with underscore. So have you seen that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So fine. I want to create a copy of this too, but I want this to be uppercase. I want to create a copy of this too. also, but I want it to be uppercase. So fine. I think I'm done with the items I will need to create my lookup table. So I want to now load this back to my Excel sheets. So we are here now. Can you see what I've created in Power Query now back to Excel?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll create a new sheet where I'll now design the lookup table. So when designing the lookup table, the first item you need is the types. You define this sheet as I want to define this sheet as types, right? So under type, if you have a unique ID, you define it here, right? Then you define whether you have variables that are deleted. Can you see the new sheet I created?
I think still I can see the Power Query,
No,
not
not the
the
Power.
new sheet.
Okay, it's just the Power Query you are seeing. Okay, let me go back and share the new sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, can you now see the new sheet I'm sharing?
Yes. Now I can see.
Okay. So like I said, if you have a unique ID which you have defined for your lookup table, you put it there. And this is when you have variables that are deleted. You define it, all right? So then now my table ID, you define your table ID. And for this table, like we said, we are going to have the LGA, right? And the word. So we have just two content in the table, which is just the LGA and the word. Mind you, you must not have it in lowercase. This can be in capital letters too. So you define whether it's global, right?
Yeah.
Then the next thing, you now define your field. Field one, what is the content of field one? You put it, your field two, what is the content? I think for this one, we are going to have just 3 fields. This is fields 2 and fields 3. So now, our content for field 1 is going to be our ID, all right? So since I have just 2 items, which is LG and word, so we are going to have just 2 IDs. And the field 2 is going to be my variable name. And field 3 Field 3 is going to be the ID. This is going to be the LGA ID. And this is going to be the word ID. So mind you, I told you it doesn't accept what do you call it, spacing. It's not all the variables that accept spacing. For field 3, you are going to, instead of the spacing, you make it an underscore, right? Okay. Sorry, I have just 2 variables. This is going to just take the definition of the LGA ID. LGA, then underscore ID, right? It's global, yes.
Yes,
You might
Jafar,
just,
I think we can't see your screen.
you can't see my screen?
Yeah.
I can see it over here.
Okay, you can see it. Okay, let me just stop sharing and share again.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, can you now see the screen?
Uh,
Can you
yeah,
now
I
see?
can see.
Okay, fine. So here, whether we have deleted any variable, it's no. I know you might have some questions. I'm just doing this quickly. I will be traveling in some minutes. So maybe you can reserve your questions. I'll upload the video on YouTube. You reserve your questions. You can just drop your question on the WhatsApp group. When I come back, I'll attend to those questions. We might not have time to really go into deep, what do you call it, discussion on everything now. So now, the next sheet, I'm going to define my LGA. So this this sheet is going to be tagged as LGA. So like I told you, it must not be in small letters. The sheets, when you are trying to label the sheet, it must not be in small letter. You can make it a capital letter, right? So now under my LGA, I'm going to define whether I have a unique ID, UID. The next thing is I'll define my fields. I'll define whether I have deleted any variable. Now, my field ID. So my field ID under the LGs, those LGs I used. So I'll now go back. If you are following the sheet I used earlier, or let me stop sharing this and come back to, and just share that sheet, the one we created using Power Query. Can you see this? Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to now create the field which contains the LGA. So, but you know, here we have repetition. This is the LGA where we have Aguara, Borgu, and whatever. So, but we have repetitions, and on that field, we don't need the repetition. So I'm just going to filter. I'm just going to filter it, and this is how I'll go about it. Like I told you, our class today is going to be basically like 80% or 90% Excel. So I want the unique characters of this. So these are just the LGs, right? So I'll copy this. and go to where I have the field and load it there. I think I have to reshare the where we were earlier, right? Okay, but let me finish. Let me just finish on this page. Okay, and again, I want to have this in, I want to have the uppercase too. Okay, let me stop sharing this and go back to where we were working before. Okay, so can you see this page now? I hope you know what I did here. I just filtered the LGA, removing the repetitions and bringing them here under our field, right? Are you following? So this is where I will define my field name. So did we delete any sheet? No.
Yeah.
Did we delete any variable? It's no. So are you all here? So I'm done with the LGA now.
Yes, yes.
So now I'll create the sheet for the, I'm going to define the words here. So I'll rename this as word, right? So the same thing too goes for for the design, for the word. Do I have a unique ID? No. Whether any sheet is deleted, it's no. So my field ID, so my field ID now is going to be the words. You get it? The entire words we created. On the other page, let me just stop sharing this and go back to that sheet here. All right. So we are going to copy this word, the entire, all the words we have, and paste it on that sheet. So I'll copy this. And paste it here. All right. Then my field name. My field name now. Sorry, this okay. This should be small letter. So sorry, I'm working on 2 pages. I have to go to the other page and copy and come back here. So I think you have to bear with that.
Yeah. Ogala, good morning.
Morning, oh my Oga. How far?
Hello. Adio, sorry, I'm joining the class a bit late. I'm sorry. I don't even know what's in the app. I just didn't know that big.
What we are trying to do, let me just do a recap. What we are trying to do is we are trying to create a lookup table. Lookup table in CommCare is the same thing like what is known as cascading in Kobo and ODK. You get it. If you are familiar with Kobo and ODK, it's the same thing as cascading. All right.
Yes, I understand. Okay.
Okay, so that is exactly what we are trying to do. We want to create an app. We want to create an app in such a way that select a particular. We are working with LGs and words now. You get it. So we want it to be in such a way that if we select a particular LG, it is only the words under that LG that will just pop up, that will show up. You understand?
Yes, I understand. Yes,
okay, that is just exactly what we are trying to do now.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. So now, my field name. I know some of you might be confused, but if you sit down and watch the video at a very comfortable time, you understand what we did here. So I'm working on the other page. I know you cannot see it, but let me just quickly share that page. Okay, can you see the page? The page I just shared now. Can you see the page I just shared now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now I want a proper case of this. Let me just say proper. I'm working with Excel, so I hope you guys are familiar with most of the things we have here. So I just did a proper case of this one, where I want each character should start with each word should start with capital letter. So I'll copy this. This is my field name. I'll paste it under my field name. So now, this is where I want to define every word to its LGA. Are you getting my point? If you look at this page, I've done that already. These are the words and these are the LGA. Like for Aguara, this was how it was. This was where we started, the first page where we have LGA and word. So what we did was we filled this down to make sure every word stand by its LGA. So these are the words. So from here to this point is all under Aguara, these words, you get it. And the next LG is Barugu. From this point to this point, all the words by this side are under Barugu. The same thing from here, you can see Pontagora. To this point, they are all under, all these words here are all under Pontagora. So you define it in this way. This is how you define it. So I will now copy this and paste it under my field ID. So let me just stop sharing this and share the. Okay, so we are here. So I'll call this my field ID. my field ID, but this time around the LGA ID, right? Because the LGA here is trying to define every word that is under it. So it is our LGA ID. So I think we are almost done. Did we delete any page? You put no. This N means no. We did not delete any variable, sorry, or any item. So I think we are good to go with the design. So this is how you design a lookup table, right? Let me remove this. Okay. So this is how you design a lookup table. We have designed it. So the next step is to load it in on CommCare. So, but I want you to still take a look at the design. You see, the first thing you are supposed to do is to create the types, your variable types, whatever you are going to use in the entire lookup table, you define it here, right? Then we have two tables under it. We have the LGA table and the word. So you come and define your LGA table too, which is what I did. Here, right? Then you still come and design your word. But I want this to be, let me just do something here. I want this to be, just to start with capital letter instead of having everything in capital letter. So I want to change it. So I'm done. So this is where I defined the LG, and this is where I defined the word. So what we have to do next is to upload this to the application we are designing. So let's go back to, let's just go to CommCare. Okay, let me stop sharing this and share the CommCare page. Can you see the new page I'm sharing? Can you see the new page I'm sharing?
Yes,
Hello?
yes, yes.
But we have a problem. CommCare is under maintenance. Yes, they sent a message that they are going to do maintenance today, and it will last for, is it 3 hours or so? I've forgotten. Wow. Sorry, we cannot continue. CommCare, they are under maintenance. So maybe we just stop here. Later in the evening, if I return from my journey, then we continue. The most important thing is for you to just see how to create the lookup table using Excel. What is left now is just to load it to CommCare page. That's all, to our app. Whatever we are developing is, so it's just to load this what we have designed using Excel to the CommCare. That's all. So these are the most important steps you are supposed to grab for now. What is left is just 1 or 2 steps on how to upload it to your CommCare page or your CommCare app. So I'm sorry, I've actually they sent a message that they are going to do maintenance, and I've forgotten completely. So what do we do now?
You can share this video now. Then when you come back, you let us know when we can conclude.
Okay, maybe probably in the evening around 8 p.m. today, if it's fine by you guys, we can just, what is left is will not take us up to like 15-20 minutes. It's just to load it and create the app with it. So what will happen is I will share this sheet with you. This sheet I just created now. You get it? What I just did now, I'll share it with you on the WhatsApp group. And also share the video so that you can go through it on your own and maybe note down any challenge you have. By evening, we discuss it, right?
Fine.
Thank you very much, Jafar. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, later now. So by 8 p.m.
All right, at 8 p.m. No problem. Thank
Yes,
you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.